for 11 years on the legendary Burnett Show. She put smiles on faces all across America, and I'm smiling just having her here, for sure. Welcome so much. Her new book is called This Time Together, Laughter and Reflection. Carol.
Hi, honey.
You know, I just think you're the greatest. Everyone's clapped when you walked in because no one else got that so far.
Really?
They clap after they're done, but not when they walk in, like when the Queen of England would walk.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello. Where's my pocketbook?
She can't dress for nothing.
Oh, I'm true.
Poor thing. So, you know, the ad-libbing that you do there, you know, in the Q&A part you did on your show, that was not easy to do, especially in those days. Nobody did that, really.
Well, you know what? I got the idea from Gary Moore. When I was on his show as a regular, back in the covered wagon days, Gary would go out and warm up the audience instead of having a comedian tell jokes.
Yeah.
So he would go out, bump up the lights, and take questions from, but they never taped it. He just never did that. So when my own show was going to be done, my executive producer, Bob Banner, said, you know, Carol, you should come out and let the audience get to know you as a person before you start putting on the fright wigs and blacking out the teeth and wearing the fat suits, you know? And I said, oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. He said, like Gary used to do. I said, oh, no, I wouldn't be that smart or quick or, you know. And he said, well, do like 2 or 3 weeks. We'll try it when we were just going to go on the air. See how you feel, if it, you know. And I'll never forget the first time that we were taping our first show. And I kind of walked out and I was like, hi, you know. Well, gosh, I was scared that nobody would raise their hands, and then I was terrified that somebody would. And I was awful, you know, but then finally somebody said, who's on tonight? You know, and I told them who our guest was. Then the following week, I did it. I felt a little bit better. Then by the 3rd week, people in the audience had seen the show, and they were kind of aware that we were going to do this. So then a lot of hands started shooting up. And I don't know, I just kind of took to it. And I didn't want any plants in the audience or anything because that would be too phony.
Yeah, that would ruin it.
No. So then it became one of my favorite things in the show.
Everybody loved it.
I loved doing it.
You know, I mean, you were so naturally funny that no matter what you would say would have worked, I think.
Well, the audience, too. Some of those, I mean, those were doozies. Some of them were really good.
Now, let me talk about some of your co-stars who were wonderful. And, you know, you won 25, the show won 25 Emmys. Yeah. It was really a tremendous hit, which I think it was the precursor to Saturday Night Live in many ways.
Well, it was on when we were on.
It was?
Saturday Night Live, yeah.
Oh, well,
yeah,
Saturday Night Live, that went on in 1975.
It was on forever, yeah.
And you made wonderful stars. There were wonderfully funny people. I mean, the late, wonderfully funny Harvey Korman.
Yes.
You know, he just died last year.
Yeah.
I miss him. I didn't know him, but I miss him.
I miss him too.
And Tim Conway. You used to crack up over Tim all the time. What was it about Tim Conway that made you laugh so hard, all of you?
He's the funniest man I know. That's what made me laugh.
Yeah.
No, but we would tape 2 shows on Friday.
Yeah.
But the 5 o'clock show, we'd call it the dress rehearsal, and we would tape that as a backup. And Tim would always do that show the way we'd rehearsed it. Then he would go to our director before the 2nd show, and the 2nd new audience was coming in, and he would say, Dave, did you get all the shots? And Dave did. And he'd say, well, for instance, in the hotel sketch, when I go over to the window this time, instead of being on a head-to-waist shot, be on a head-to-toe shot. That's all he would say.
That's all the director knew.
That's all the director knew, the crew, everybody. We didn't know what he was going to do, you know, but he had thought up some bit of business that he was going to do on the air show that would crack everybody up. So that we were helpless, especially poor Harvey.
Poor Harvey.
Yeah. Tim got him. I think Tim's golden life was to destroy Harvey. I really do. It was just, and it got to the point where there was going to be, we called them the Tim and Harvey sketches, and Harvey was just terrified. He was a consummate actor, such a professional, and he hated himself for letting Tim get to him. But it would come to a point where just before they were going to say a word, okay, camera's on, and here we're going to do the sketch, and Tim would just say, do this to Harvey. Just look at him. Just look at him. Harvey was gone. Because he was just the expectation of what Tim was going to do.
Yeah, cracked him up.
Sent Harvey round the bend.
You know, and the other person that was interesting in those days was Lucille Ball, who was on your show a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you think of comedic female icons, Lucy and Carol, you know, Phyllis Diller, Joan Rivers, these are the ladies that really cracked everybody up. And yet people always tell me Lucy was never funny off the air.
She was very serious.
Very
I mean,
serious.
she was, she was funny. She had a great sense of humor, but she was never on.
No.
Not at all, no.
But she had to run the studio, didn't she, when she broke up with Desi Arnaz?
Yes, I have a story about that.
Tell me.
I guess I can tell it on television.
Why not? We'll
it's
bleep
in the
it if
book,
it's blue.
but okay.
Don't worry.
Well, she was on our show, and so my husband, Joe Hamilton, who had produced the Gary Moore show, was producing our show. And but I was never confrontational. If Jackie Gleason or Sid Caesar didn't like a sketch, they would go to the writers and they'd say, you know, this stinks.
Yeah.
Write something else. This ain't working. Give me something funnier. Da, da, da.
Well, Sid Caesar notoriously almost threw Mel Brooks out the window because he
held
didn't
him
like the
upside
material.
down.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah. Maybe that's what's wrong with Mel now. I don't know, but I couldn't do that. If something wasn't working, I would be, oh gosh, guys, I may not be saying this right, what you wrote, and I'm so sorry. Could you maybe help me out here?
Oh.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Now, whereas my Joe would say, this stinks, make it better, right? Fine. Now, I was having dinner with Lucy at the farmer's market. We were between rehearsals. We were waiting to do the band rehearsal on Thursday night, and we were having some Chinese food and everything, and she called me kid. She said, you know, kid, you're really lucky to have Joe be the bad cop, because you can come in and be just, And I said, well, I couldn't confront anybody anyway, Lucy. She said, well, I was that way. She said, when I was married to the Cuban, he did everything. He made it right. He did, the scripts were terrific. He knew what he wanted, how the lighting and all of this was.
Yeah.
And all I had to do was come in and be Lucy on Monday mornings and read the show and go do it, and we'd be fine. And then they got a divorce. And then she got another show, I think it was like the Lucy Show, or she had a couple of others, with Gail Gordon.
And Vivian Vance.
And Vivian.
Right.
And so she came in that Monday morning, and she read the script, and it was terrible. And she thought, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Desi's not here to... And she said, okay, everybody, let's break for lunch, and so she went into her office and she thought about it. She said, I've got to be strong. I've got to be strong. And she said, I went back out and I told everybody just exactly what I thought. And kid, that's when they put the S on the end of my last name.
Lucille Ball, plural, is a great name.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
Oh, she cracked me up.
But it was hard. It's hard for women to really be assertive like that.
And it was then. I don't know if it's that hard now, but
well,
back then.
What do you guys think?
You're fine.
All right. But who makes you laugh anyway? Who makes you laugh?
Well, Conway still.
He still makes you laugh.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, you go out to dinner with him, you got to know the Heimlich maneuver.
Really?
Yeah, because you just choke.
He starts up wherever he is.
He just has a funny take on everything.
Yeah.
And, well, who makes you? You make me laugh.
Oh, that's sweet.
You do.
You don't have to say that.
Then, okay, I'll take it back.
All right, I'm going to stop you there because we have to take a break.
Okay.
But just get comfortable, and we'll be back with the wonderful Carol Burnett in just a minute.